Laethas, and welcome back again for another episode of the Yuricast. I am joined this month by my co-host, Aisha, also known as Mama Loves Manga.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the Yuricast.
And this this is episode 2, not to be confused with episode 1.5 that we did a couple weeks ago, spur of the moment, but this is official episode 2, and we are going to be talking about the visual novel by Studio Oracle and Bone, available on Steam. It is A Summer's End, Hong Kong, 1986. Now, it's a pretty simple visual novel. You got two characters, and, it's Yuri VN, so the two girls, women, working women. So,
Yeah.
one works in an office, one kind of runs her own store. But, it's a visual novel. Some, minor spoilers, maybe. We're not gonna, do too many spoilerinos. This game does have 18-plus scenes in it, though you don't have to play with those scenes if you do not want to. So, that's, basic gist of it. I think it's like $15, $20 on Steam, so
Yeah.
not super expensive, about the price of, in some cases, one volume of manga or two volumes of manga if you, want to use that as your measuring stick. But Aisha, I'm going to let you start off. What were you anticipating going into this visual novel?
Okay, well, first of all, this was my first visual novel, so I've been aware of them, so I kind of had an idea of what I was gonna need to do. Um, I honestly don't think I went into it with too many expectations. I purposefully didn't um read too much about it or get too much information from others about it. Like, you told me about it, but I didn't ask you too many questions beforehand because I kind of just wanted to go into it, you know, with no expectations and an open mind. And I guess if anything, I will say that I did expect more spiciness than what I think we got, but also my bar for spiciness is higher than normal. So
if they're not in the middle of the park, it's, not
right.
spicy enough.
Exactly. But yeah, that would probably be my only, expectation before I started. Oh, another I did not expect for it to take me as long as it did to play, but that's because my laptop kept freezing. So it took me a lot longer to play than necessary.
Do not be worried. For your fair computer viewers that are watching this, this game is not usually too intensive, but Aisha's laptop isn't the best.
Trash. It's
So,
trash. It's fine. You can say it. You can say it.
so your machine should be fine and happy and not want to
Mhm.
cry and die. So
Right.
it should have the specs to play this game. It's a visual
Oh my gosh.
novel.
Right. That's oh my gosh. Just thinking about it is just making me so angry because I'm like, really? It's not even a relatively small game too. I just don't understand. But my computer really is disrespectful.
But you got through it
Yeah.
despite the
Once.
hiccups.
Oh
Um,
man.
my expectations were it was may what it may have been the first visual novel that
Mm.
I really played. It was the
Oh,
first or the second. Can't remember which. Um, but I really didn't know what I was expecting. I knew it was working women. I thought they were both office ladies, but
right.
I wasn't unpleasantly surprised that the other one was basically, but not really. They just owned their own shop instead of being a
Mhm.
corporate drone. So, not necessarily a bad thing. It's basically the same archetype, but, with a different coat of paint on it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting as many spicy scenes as we got actually compared to Asia.
Mm.
I did not know there was an adult patch until I was in the Steam store, and I saw it, and I was like, huh, this will be interesting. And I was intrigued. um, Now, the adult patch, just read the manual to install it. Don't try and like go it alone. You may struggle because if you just read the manual, it'll tell you exactly what to do. It's do that if you want to play with the super spicy scenes.
Yeah, because I learned the hard way. Ugh, it took me forever. But yeah, definitely use the manual. Like it's right there. Don't be like me and ignore it and pretend you don't need it.
But enough of the expectations
Mm,
out of the way. What were your thoughts of the game, the story,
right,
in general?
right. So I do want to. This is kind of a funny story. So like, at one point while I was playing, Matt walked in and he was like looking at my face and he's like, "Are you even enjoying this?" Because I guess I had like a very just like a solemn face or something. I don't know. But I was just really concentrating because I didn't want to miss anything. I didn't want to choose the wrong answers.
She
So
didn't want to
I
anger her GF.
exactly. So I was like, okay, I've got to pay attention. But so I mean, I was pretty engrossed in it. While I was playing, I think, and I'm pretty sure I messaged you this that I did not like Michelle at first. And to be honest, I still don't really like Michelle that much. I am a much bigger fan of Sam. I think she is the bee's knees. I love her. But just I will say that I like their dynamic. It's a pretty like typical dynamic that we see in Yuri. You know, you have this kind of stuffy office lady, and then usually if there's another office lady, she's like the opposite, so super fun and like whatever, but instead of getting another office lady, we have like an entrepreneur type person, and she's like super just fun, and she goes to clubs because it's the '80s, and why not, you know? She owns her own video shop, which is super cool. It's just Sam is great. She's the best. Um,
She has a lot of fun. She also drives a motorcycle.
yes, yes. I love her. But I mean, the archetypes archetypes are pretty common, but it's something that I don't know, they're personalities that I enjoy seeing in stories like this. So I really enjoyed that as I was reading. Um, like I mentioned earlier, for me, the spicy scenes, they could have been spicier. It was nice um, to get the words, along with it. I think the photos on their own, at least the ones that I managed to unlock, wouldn't really incite that much for me, but paired with the actual story, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is this is nice. This isn't bad at all." Um, what else? I'm trying to I had so many thoughts while I was while I was playing that I kind of wish I had written some things down because I don't know, I had a lot of moments of disliking certain characters, like Michelle's mom. I really did not like that woman.
I don't think you're supposed to like her.
Yeah, toward the end, I was kinda like, "Okay, I guess she's trying to redeem herself," but gosh, ugh, she was awful. Um, Sam's friend, what, Cecilia? Is that what her name
Maybe
is?
she's the top person.
Yeah,
She's
she's
it's hard. How do I
yeah,
describe her? She's like imagine a gang boss, but like not a
mhm,
gang boss.
right. She's just, like, super flamboyant and kind of I don't know, she just seemed like if they had voices, I feel like she would have been super loud and,
Very imposing.
yes, just very yes, and She was interesting. I kinda liked her at first, and then she got on my nerves because I thought there for a little bit that she was gonna try to come in between us, which maybe she does in a different
You
if you
really got
choose
into character. You
differently.
just used us in that one.
Oh, did I say
You were really playing Michelle.
I guess I'm more invested than I thought. But I was worried though. I didn't want it to happen. Thankfully, she didn't, but I don't know, like, I really I think as I was playing, the things that really stood out to me the most, were the just the art in general was really nice, and I loved the aesthetic. I guess what is it, like vaporwave or whatever? Is that what
Yeah,
they're
I
calling it?
think so.
I liked the setting, I liked the, aesthetic. I've never been to Hong Kong, and so it was kind of cool. I don't know, it made me curious because I don't know if I'm assuming that the places that were mentioned are real places. Maybe, I have no idea. So it made me curious to, like, look more into, like, Hong Kong, and I don't know, it's just not a place that I'd ever really thought much about perhaps exploring someday, but I'm I was very intrigued. I mean, it would also be cool to go back in time to 1986 and see what it was like then, but no, I liked the setting. Um, I I liked the story. I feel like there were some points where I was just really annoyed with Michelle. Like I she really annoyed me a lot.
She's very reserved.
Mhm, mhm. Like overly so. And I just I had a hard time. Like I think I really did just kind of like push her out of the way and I just inserted myself because I was like, I don't really like Michelle. I don't vibe with her personality, so I'm gonna kick her out of her own story and replace it with myself. And that made it fun. So
That's
I
why you
chose
used us.
yes. So I chose my answers based on like what I would say and not what I thought Michelle would say because I don't because she would say something really boring and or like kind of I don't know snotty or something and I didn't want I wanted
Huh.
Sam to like me.
We got a totally different read of Michelle then, because I was like, what would she choose? And I was like, no, she'd try
Mm.
and like not be mean to people. Like she's more reserved. She's not trying to like make any enemies. So I was always
Hmm.
choosing like the more diplomatic options.
Oh, wow. So does this I think this is showing that we have different ideas of like or about reserved people. Do I like subconsciously think that reserved people are mean? But yeah, no. I did enjoy it. I did think the story was fine. There were some really cute situations like when they went to that beach and they stayed and like we're supposed to watch the stars. Like that was around the time when I was like, "Okay, Michelle isn't that bad," because it was cute that she kept wanting to stay with her and risk, like, her mom slut shaming her and just being horrible. So I did appreciate that. I was like, "Okay, Michelle, you can come back for this part of the story because you deserve a little affection from Sam, but after if you mess up again, I'm kicking you out." And I'm taking your place. Like, that's what I was saying as I was, playing. But yeah, I'm hmm, is there anything else that I mean,
I
it's
assume you got with your GF at the end.
yes, we did end up together, of
This isn't a
course.
spoiler, people. This is a visual novel. What the heck did you think was gonna happen?
Right, exactly. I will say because there is more than one possibility, like, or ending, right? Like,
Yes.
are there 2?
Yeah, there's two. Well, kind of. There's two
Mm,
endings, but with one ending, you may get more or fewer spicy scenes depending on your choices. So,
okay.
like, technically
So
only two endings, but like, there's a few scenes you may or may not get. So,
right. Many of which I did not get because 1, I could only play it once because my computer hates me, and 2 well, actually both reasons it's just all because my computer hates me. So I do I do want to replay it to get all of the illustrations and things that I missed, and just to see, like, what happens, if I change some of my answers, because I'm very curious to see what happens. So I'm not allowing you to, spoil anything for me, please, friend, because I would like to play it eventually. Oh, okay. As I was talking, my mind was wandering as per usual, and I just remembered a character that I hated with a passion.
Is it the person that tries to get between the two but doesn't really know it?
Yes. Joey, or what is that? Is it Joey? Is
I
that
I
his name?
I didn't care about him, so I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he's stupid and I hate him. I like he was so obnoxious, and every time he came around, I was just like, if you don't go away, I'm going to, I don't know, push you off of a balcony
He
or
was
something.
trying to
Like I was
snipe Michelle from her right and proper GF.
Yeah, it was annoying. And it's like this is just something that I in general dislike in romance stories. There's when they throw in that random person who was supposed to be a rival, but there's like no chemistry. They're annoying. It doesn't make any sense as to why they're here other than just like ooh, a little drama. It's like it wasn't even dramatic. It was just annoying, and they could have like totally saved time by
Yeah.
not drawing him
I think
at
he's
all.
supposed to be the character that, like, quote unquote, mom would approve of, or
Yeah.
whatever, but, like, I didn't care about that part of the story. I just wanted to see the two GFs eventually hook up together
Yeah.
and be happy.
Same. I just, I wish I could be as just chill about it as you are, though, because you're just like, I don't care. Whereas me, I'm like, oh my God, I hate him so much, which means that I cared. Um, and that's upsetting. 'Cause I just liked him so much. One other thing. I y- Earlier when you were asking about expectations, I will say that when I first started playing, I fully thought that it was going to be a relationship between Michelle and her boss.
It is not.
But yeah, it is not. But that's exactly what I when I first started playing, I was like, "Oh, is this going to be like which I know for all the preaching I do about like whatever things I don't like, I will say that I would not have been opposed to that because Michelle's an adult. Yeah, I know that bosses probably shouldn't date their employees,
There's
but
some ethical power issues that can
yeah,
arise.
right. But I think I would like to read that, I would like to see it. So if these same people want to do something like that, I would listen. I mean, listen, it happens all the time in Korean like dramas, like the boss falls in love with the secretary or whatever, and
I don't think that's just a Korean drama thing.
it exactly. That's just what came to my head. But I'm just saying, like, it could do really well in a VN, I think. I would play that. But I was also very happy to see Sam though. She's cute. And yeah.
In a lot of the CGs, she's always depicted as, looking out for the main girl. Well, they're both main girls, but
Right.
the player girl.
Right. Ugh,
You can see it
disgusting.
in every single image. She's got her eye on her.
Oh, I love it. It just
But
I want Sam to protect me too.
uh, and like I wasn't like viscerally like hateful towards like the Joey character, but I did feel like
Mhm.
it was kind of like a lull in the
Yeah.
gameplay when it was like his scenes. I was like, I want to get to back to fun times.
Right, like, just skip. Skip, skip, skip. Yeah, he was bleh, I didn't like him. Um, was there something else that happened that I'm forgetting?
Um,
Oh! Oh, dude. What was up with the weird, like, supernatural-ish kind of thing? Like, or did I misread like, am I crazy?
oh, at the very beginning,
Like, what was up with that? Where she ended up on a street? that was maybe not an actual street, and there was some sort of like mystical lady, something. I don't know. It
I
was
don't like now that you mention it, I remember that
mm,
happening, but
mm.
like I think I just blocked that out like after it had happened just cuz I didn't know what was going on. So like
Mhm.
I forgot about that. But yeah, that
Yeah.
does happen.
It was weird
This
because
is at the
I was
beginning of the
kind of
game, people, don't worry. It's not spoilers, okay? It's like
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
the
it's
second paragraph, okay?
right.
It's
It's
very
pretty
early on.
early. Yeah. And I almost forgot about it, but just when we were talking, I was like, "Oh, wait. That that did happen." And it was just weird because I don't know, I was a little bit excited because I thought, "Oh, is this gonna be like a supernatural kind of like sci-fi
She's gonna
fantasy?"
marry the dragon goddess. No, she doesn't.
Right?
She does not.
Yes,
It's
she
yeah.
doesn't. There are no supernatural beings, oh, that I know of. I mean, it seemed like there was at least maybe one, but that was just also that whole scene made me think of it made me think of Twilight, when Bella's stupid self goes, I think she's, like, trying to get what was it? She was, like, mad at I don't know, her and Edward, they were fighting, and she almost gets, like, raped or something, and Edward comes out of nowhere and is like, "Ah, I'm gonna save you." Like, I felt like Sam was gonna come out of the, like, shadows kind of like Edward and, like, save Michelle, and that didn't happen, so, wow, I just outed myself as a twihard.
You're good. I don't think the comments will judge you too hard.
Yes, they will. It's okay.
But yeah, it kind of had that thriller horror vibe.
Mhm.
Now that I'm
Yeah.
remembering it, but yeah, that's that was uh, that was a very different part of the game that I basically forgot about because it was
Mhm.
way different than the rest of it.
Yeah, it just kinda didn't fit. I mean, and I say it didn't fit, like, it didn't really take away from my enjoyment of the game, but it just did leave me a little bit confused because
Well, especially since it was so early on, it's hard to like cause your
yeah,
opinion to sway too hard when things happen so early, unless it's
right.
like uh, absurd, which
Mhm,
it
mhm.
wasn't.
Right. Yeah, it was I don't know, it was in that middle area where it's like, "Okay, I can understand getting lost." You that because I got lost in Korea once. That was fun. Um, but, I it makes sense that she got lost and it was dark, and so all of that made sense, but it was just like the old
Why is the
lady.
supernatural element here?
Yeah, and it just felt very, like, oppressive, like, the atmosphere, even while like, I was just reading it and I was like, "I'm kind of freaked out, like, what is going on?" And then,
Never happens again.
yeah, nothing came of that, so that was I don't know. It was interesting. I don't know why they did that.
But, yeah, it was a little strange.
Mm,
Because most of the rest of the game plays pretty heavily into like the romance and the desire sort
mhm,
of emotions. It
mhm,
tends to play
mhm,
with those more. Um, I
mhm.
would say like it's not really lustful. It's more just desire. It plays more with the romance and the desire
Yeah,
more than the lust, I feel.
yeah.
Despite the fact that there are numerous occasions where they are physical with one another.
Mhm.
I don't feel
It
like it
it
played up lust all that much, which,
right.
I like the desire. I like the
Yeah,
romance.
right. I was gonna say it felt more, um, sincere, I guess, more, just more genuine with that. Like, it felt a little bit more realistic, I guess, like, or organic. They weren't just hot for I mean, they were hot for each other, but, like, there was just a little, I don't know, heart. There was some heart in there and just genuine love in them learning about each other. Because is this a spoiler if is it a spoiler if we mention that Michelle is questioning? Like, she's not sure?
I don't think so.
Okay, because she's not sure of her sexuality, but I think she is, like, she's
Oh, no,
pretty
100%.
yeah,
Sam knows.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's
From the
pretty,
very, I think, like, there's a flashback scene, and
uh-huh,
I think
uh-huh.
Sam is like, from the moment I saw you, I was like, mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. So, it does have that kind of trope, which I have said many times that that trope usually is frustrating, but in this case, I will say that I think it was done well because yeah, she was questioning at first, but by the end she wasn't questioning anymore. She was like, "You know what? I know who I am," and I love that. I love
This
that.
is my GF, and I love her.
Yes. And it wasn't like "Oh, I I love you despite the fact that you're a girl." It was like, "Nah." She's like, "I'm gay." And I'm like, "Yes, yes, queen, accept it." Like, we don't need to do this whole like, "Oh, just despite," which no shade to, because I know there are people who are pan who and or bi or whatever, who do feel that way. But I don't know, I like to see someone just be decisive. Um and stand firmly, whether you're standing firmly in your bi-ness or your lesbianness. And Michelle was like, definitely lesbian. And I was like, yes, girl.
Yeah. But, to, like, every single time, though, well,
Mm,
I shouldn't say every time, but for the most part, Sam is the one kind of initiating things and
mhm,
pushing things
mhm.
forward, and she moves very quickly as well.
Yeah, she does. She's aggressive. A little yeah, she's aggressive. Um,
She knows
but
what she wants.
yeah, I gave her a pass because she's hot. So
But she's always, respectful boundaries and all of
yeah.
that.
I agree. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, Sam was just she's great. Um, so overall, I really liked their relationship. I've kind of like crapped on Michelle this whole time. But she's really not that bad. And I think that the way she is with Sam is just really cute. I think Sam brings out her I don't know, her adventurous side.
Her
And they
wilder side.
complement each other. Yeah, it's really nice. I do think that and I don't know if you got this out of it, but it's very much like an opposites attract kind of story,
Yeah, I got
which
that. You got the
yeah.
reserved little office drone followed by,
Mhm.
the outgoing entrepreneurial woman. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's cute, although I've heard that actually in real life opposites don't typically attract. Which I can understand, but it's fun to read about. It's fun to, like,
I
fantasize.
feel it makes more sense for Michelle though, because like it feels
Mm,
like it's not just like she's reserved because she's a reserved person, but she's like kind of keeping sort of things down more so than
mhm,
that just is her.
right,
Is kind of the sense I got.
yeah, right. Oh, that makes sense because her mom, is so
Yeah, her mom's
awful.
not nice.
I really did not like her mom, like and her mom loves her, okay, or whatever, but just the way she went about things, I was like, "L now, lady." Yeah, those were those were basically my thoughts just, like, as I was playing, and then, I don't know, like, by the end of it, I was frustrated because my computer just kept freezing, so I couldn't watch all the credits. That annoyed me, but I left the game feeling satisfied, like, I don't know, it was just, like, a nice, kind of sweet angsty story between 2 women, and I really feel like as a first VN, like, this was great. I really am glad that it was my first, you know? It was
Yeah,
great.
I really was satisfied with the ending as well.
Mm.
I didn't feel like, oh, there's gonna be It's just like, no, it works just as is. Like the ending is
Yeah.
like really good. So like,
Mhm.
well, one of the endings, like, because there's
Right.
multiple endings, but yeah, the ending that the main ending, the ending you're supposed to want,
Mhm,
it was
mhm.
very satisfying.
But yeah, no, I really did enjoy this. It was nice. Like,
They built an emotional connection to each other that felt
mhm,
very
mhm,
believable, um,
mhm.
despite the fact that it moved very, very quickly. But
Yeah, in the span of, like, I mean, there were some time skips, like months
yeah,
or whatever, but just months. Like, it still was very fast.
yes. Well, most of the game took place over like a very short period of time, and then you get a time skip, and then the
Mhm.
rest of the game takes place. Um, but
Right.
yeah, they move quickly, um, which was fun to see because Sam is
Mhm.
very much like, "This is what I want. Please give me." And Michelle's like, "I don't
Mhm.
know," and you get those dynamics.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like, when you think about it, even in real life, there are plenty of people. I've heard so many stories of people, like, meeting and then they're together, like, within days. So, it happens. It's not too it wasn't too far out for me to, like, to be able to suspend disbelief. Like, I wasn't like,
Yeah,
"Oh my gosh, no one gets together that fast." Like,
especially the way it's presented. Like it feels
yeah.
very believable.
Yeah, it was just ugh, and the way they met was cute, and then when we got the flashback and saw Sam's side, I was like, "Oh my god, I love this so much. This is so sweet."
The flashback was very good. I did
I
enjoy
was like,
that.
"Oh my gosh, so cute." So, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I am definitely gonna play it again when I get a new computer or that it doesn't crash because I did not manage to unlock a lot of things. So disappointing, and I want to see them.
Well, if you had to give a score
Hmm,
out of 5, 10, 1 million, whatever desire, what would you say? Or like give
okay,
it a
well,
letter
we're
grade.
gonna
I don't know.
okay, okay, let's do a letter grade, and I would give it I would actually give it a B plus. Like, I
Okay.
don't think because for me, like, again, we've already established that I am a perv, so for me it was like, "Oh, this is really cute." But it just the spice the spice level could have been it could have been a little bit more, and I would have likely given it an A because, yeah, the spice just wasn't quite
The
there for
spice
me.
skips A minus altogether and goes straight to A.
Yes. Yeah, because that's how I roll. But but, yeah, and also I would say a B plus because of some of the weirdness, like the whole supernatural thing that wasn't a thing, and it was a little confusing. Like, it didn't completely take me out of the story, but I did end up. I mean, I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still just like, what was that? That just seemed kind of weird, and also because I don't like Joey, so you know that gets some points knocked off. So yeah, I'd say B plus. Like, I think it's definitely worth getting and playing through, um, especially because I don't think it's that expensive, at least to me. Everyone's budget is different, but for me, it's not.
I mean, it's comparable to like 1 to 2 volumes of manga. So if
Exactly.
instead of picking up 2 volumes of manga, you can go ahead and pick up the game.
And play it, like, multiple times because there's incentives. Like, I wanna see the other ending.
Uh, I think I would give it an A
Hmm,
minus.
okay.
The lack of spiciness was, not as detrimental in my opinion as my
Mhm,
co-host here. Um, I like the scenes that there were because they played up sort of the things that I like to see, which is more sort of the romantic side and the more like desire side of the relationship more than like the happy fun time side of things.
Right.
Despite the
Yeah.
fact that those did happen. If you have like the passion patch.
Mm,
If that's not there, I don't know. I think maybe it just like cuts around these parts. I don't know.
it does. Yeah, it does because I had to replay a portion to get the spicy scene after I finally figured out how to install the passion patch. Um,
Gotcha.
so yeah, it does. It just kind of skips out on that part and goes straight to the next morning.
The morning after. But yeah, I really liked it.
Mm,
If you like Yuri and you would consider yourself a Yuri fan, I would say this is
mm,
probably like a must play. Um, I, I don't think there's another Vienna, or at least not that I am aware of. Maybe there is.
mm,
To be fair, I'm not super knowledgeable, with regards to this field, but you know, it's very good. Don't get too many office ladies,
mm,
and this is a very strong one in my opinion.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, I agree. I had a lot of fun with it. Um, and I would recommend it for sure. I think Lythis, I think you do too. I think we're in agreement. We both enjoyed it immensely. Um, I'm just right now I'm cracking up at the fact that you mentioned that you really like the the romance aspect, and I'm over here like I just want to see them bang, and it really shows like where we are in our lives because like I'm just like romance, romance, romance. I love romance, but also I'm just like I just want to see the lady bits. That's what I want to. I don't. The story's cute, but, I want I wanna see them going at it. So, I mean, that's we're just in different places in our life right now.
But yeah, if you think you're more like myself or Aisha, keep that in mind because
Mhm, mhm.
it may impact your enjoyment of the game. But our scores aren't too different from each other, so really, probably
Okay.
doesn't matter too much. It just probably more relevant, what things bother you versus you don't particularly care about,
Mm,
and what you're looking for, and you may have minor variation.
mhm. Yeah. Also, make sure that your computer isn't as crappy as mine,
Yeah, if,
so it doesn't crash.
if your computer can't play the game, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Um, if your computer can't play the game, probably don't buy it. Because you can't play it. That would be pointless. Um, but if you do have a computer that can play it, do pick it up. If you're a Yuri fan, I assume you are. You're watching the Yuricast. If you're not,
Right.
how did you get this far? But you know, yes, it's
Maybe
fun.
they like our
I liked it.
voices.
Uh,
Maybe it's our voices.
that is
Because
possible.
I mean, there's some never mind. Never mind. I'm talking
Uh
I found some things on the internet that has, like, awakened
oh.
things in me that I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
interesting."
Well, that seems like a good opportunity to move on to you know, are you. This is actually Oracle and Bones. This is their first title, believe it or not.
Oh,
So new studio. Um, their first title is really really good. It doesn't seem like
oh.
they had any hiccups. Getting off the ground because they did a good job with their launch title basically.
Wait, so I didn't realize that. So, actually, I think I'm gonna move it up to an A minus because this is their first
As
VN?
far as I am aware, this is the first title under the Oracle and Bone
Wow.
studio.
Okay, I'm gonna bump it up a little bit because that actually makes a difference to me because I didn't know that. That's really cool. For a debut, yeah,
I
that's
really want to see
cool.
where they go from here.
Yeah, it's like I
So
mean,
I would imagine they played it. They probably played it safe for the first one.
mhm,
Like
mhm.
I think.
Ooh, I really hope they make another one.
I imagine they will.
Who do we have to talk to like ensure this?
That another one? I don't know. They probably keep that hush hush. They don't want people to know their trade secrets.
True. I just want to throw money at them.
But yeah, I will probably pick up their next title,
Mm-hmm.
assuming it's a Yuri,
Speak right.
because that's what
I
I
guess
want.
speaking of yes. I keep interrupting you, okay?
I
Like
think I've interrupted you as well, so it's fine.
even Stevens. Um speaking of next, I guess we can
Yeah,
talk about what we're gonna
yeah.
talk about next.
Before we move on, just quick recap. You can go
Mm,
pick it up on Steam. Um, if you liked what you heard here, and we were light on the spoilers, so you would be intrigued. So there's
mm-hmm.
that. I would recommend you play it. I believe my co-host has expressed that she feels similar.
Yes.
Um, yeah. If maybe you made it this far and you're like, I hate this. I'm like, if you made it this far, I'm a bit curious about that. But yeah, you probably are at least interested in checking it out.
Or
But
or our voices. I'm just saying. That could be
but
it.
yeah, next week, do you want to explain what we're going to be doing next week, or not next week, next month?
Next month. Yeah. So, we are going to which next month is October. Just
Spooky,
that's
spooky,
I'm saying that for myself. Ooh, it is it's spooky season. This is actually
Spooktober.
this is gonna be great then, right? Because our next title that we're looking at is actually a web comic. It's on Lezen
Yes,
and it's called Lilith. And actually, that's the one, Laethas, that you had me watch.
I saw her
So
live
you could see my
reaction.
reaction.
That was that was fun, or at
Or
least the
did I
first
say watch? You had
chapter.
me read it. Yeah, you had me read the first chapter after we had finished recording. I think it was for something on your channel.
The
So,
indefinite hiatus
oh
podcast.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I was very intrigued. I was yeah. So I'm excited.
She knows what's in store.
Oh man, it's this one definitely it's got some spice to it.
Oh yes,
Yeah, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
but there are 2 seasons.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think because the artist had to change midway through. We're going to be doing season 1. Um,
Yes.
so if you want to follow along, or you want to read in advance and join in on the discussion, in the
Yes.
comments or replies or whatever, you can do that. Also, if you have any
Mm.
questions about the series, there will be a tweet going out, and you can leave
Mhm,
replies to
mhm.
that about your questions, which may be included in the next episode. So yeah, if you're
Yes.
curious and you want to ask a question, that would be the place to do it. Just follow the Yuricast on Twitter, and it'll come up, and well, it'll be up by the time you've reached this point in the video,
Mhm,
definitely. But yeah,
mhm.
leave your questions down there, and they will most likely get answered.
Yes.
Do you have any more thoughts on this title?
Um, not really. I'm okay. So it has been a little bit since I read that first chapter, so I don't remember all the things. I mostly remember the spicy scene.
Yeah, this is very spicy. So
Like those really stood out to
yeah,
me. Like so I'm
same
gonna have to reread it.
same warning applies as in episode 1.5.
Yeah.
R18.
Mhm.
If you're not
Yeah.
there, then yeah, don't, because you'll get in trouble. So don't do that.
It's very true. And I don't want to be responsible for anyone under the age of 18 looking into I mean, honestly, I already know. I'm the mother of a 14-year-old. I know what people under the age of 18 get around to doing. I understand. I was young once too, but I just don't let us know that you're doing it, okay? Because we don't want to know so that we can just deny. You know what I mean? So just
Uh,
don't.
but yeah, leave your questions. All that jazz. This will be going up
Mm,
on Aisha's channel,
yeah.
so it's actually going to be episode 3
Yeah.
on the
And
channel that was where it's specified, unless crazy stuff happens again. But
right. Which I wouldn't mind. But also kind of don't want that to happen because I want to actually have
time.
Yes. Oh man. But yeah, I think we're in agreement. This was great. And Lilith is gonna be exciting. I'm ready. I'm ready to read it and I'm ready to talk about it.
But yeah, I would recommend going into it. Spoiler free. Don't read anything about it, and
Mm,
just get to the end of the first chapter, and then you'll know everything you need to know about what the
mhm,
series is about. Okay.
mhm.
And if it's not for you, you'll know it's not for you. But
Right.
some of you may be pleasantly surprised. That's what
And
I will say.
and pleased.
And the first chapter
Ooh,
is free anyway, so what's the harm?
yay, do it. Peer pressure.
But yeah, that is episode 2 of the Yuricast. Um,
Mm,
let us know what you think in the comments and the replies. Always nice to know what people think, what can be done better, what people like. Did you
mhm,
pick the title up? Did you enjoy it? All of that, fun stuff.
mhm.
Let us know. We like feedback. It helps us improve things in the future. So please do that.
Yes. Also, feel free to let us know if you like our voices. I would be I would be flattered. So
Praise me.
yes, just give me all the compliments, please and thanks.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this second episode of the Yuricast. I have been Laethas. This has been my co-host Aisha. Um,
Mm,
thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next episode.
yay!
Bye.
Bye, y'all.